Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever paused to think about how your life is nothing more than the sum total of the decisions you've made up until now? The home you live in, the work you do, the relationships you treasure, or the ones you've lost, each of them is a reflection of choices. If you want to change your life, you don't have to wait for the stars to align. You simply have to begin making better decisions. Every day, whether we realize it or not, we are making choices. Some are small, seemingly insignificant, like what we eat for breakfast or which route we take to work. Others are monumental, shaping the course of our lives in ways we may not fully understand at the moment. But here's the truth. Every choice carries weight, whether we feel it now or later. The power of choice lies in its ability to determine our direction. Think about it. Where you are today is the result of choices you made days, months, or even years ago. The habits you've built, the career path you followed, the relationships you've nurtured or neglected, all began with a single decision. Choice is like a compass. It sets the course for your life. And while the journey may bring detours, obstacles, or unexpected changes, the original direction is determined by that decision. What makes choices so powerful is their cumulative effect. A single decision on its own may seem minor, but when repeated over time, it creates momentum. Choosing to exercise one day won't transform your health, but choosing to exercise consistently will. Opting to save a small amount of money may not make you wealthy overnight, but over years it can secure your financial future. The small, seemingly insignificant decisions are often the ones that lead to the biggest outcomes because they build on one another, creating a ripple effect throughout your life. The challenge with choice is that it doesn't always feel urgent. We often delay decisions, thinking there will always be more time, more opportunities, or better circumstances. But delay is a choice in itself, a choice to stand still while the world moves forward. And standing still isn't the same as staying in place, because life is always changing. The people around you are growing, adapting, and advancing. Every day you delay a decision, you risk being left behind. Making a choice also means accepting responsibility. It means owning the outcomes, whether they turn out to be good or bad. Some people avoid making decisions because they fear failure. They think, what if I make the wrong choice? But avoiding a choice doesn't protect you from failure. It guarantees stagnation. The most successful people aren't those who never make mistakes. They're the ones who make decisions boldly and learn from the results. They understand that choosing nothing is in fact choosing something. A life of missed opportunities. The power of choice is what separates a life of purpose from a life of passivity. Discipline is the silent force behind every wise decision. It's what turns intentions into actions and dreams into results. Without discipline, even the best plans crumble and the strongest ambitions fade away. It's easy to want a better life. It's far harder to do what's necessary to achieve it. That's where discipline is about doing what needs to be done, not just when it's convenient or exciting, but consistently, regardless of how you feel. It's the decision to wake up early when your bed is warm and inviting. It's saying no to distractions even when they're tempting. It's choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures. While motivation might spark the desire to act, it's discipline that ensures you keep going long after the initial excitement fades. Wise decisions require discipline because the best choices often involve some level of sacrifice. It's not easy to choose to save money when there's something you want to buy now. It's not easy to prioritize exercise when you're tired after a long day. It's not easy to stick to a goal when progress feels slow and uncertain. Discipline helps you push through those moments, reminding you that the discomfort of today is temporary. But the rewards of consistency can last a lifetime. The role of discipline becomes even more important when faced with the allure of instant gratification. In today's world, we're surrounded by opportunities for immediate pleasure. Scrolling on social media, binge-watching TV, indulging in unhealthy foods. These choices feel good in the moment, but they often lead to regret later. Discipline acts as a filter, helping you prioritize what truly matters over what feels good right now. It teaches you to delay gratification, to invest in your future self, and to make decisions that align with your long-term goals. Discipline isn't just about resisting temptation, it's also about creating structure and habits that make wise decisions easier. When you establish routines, you reduce the mental energy required to make good choices. For example, if you commit to exercising every morning at the same time, it becomes a natural part of your day rather than a decision you have to make repeatedly. The more disciplined you are in building habits, the less effort it takes to stay on track. It's important to understand that discipline doesn't come naturally to most people. It's a skill that's developed through practice. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, even unnatural, to say no to distractions or to push yourself beyond your comfort zone. But over time, discipline becomes a part of who you are. It transforms from an external force into an internal strength. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. And with that strength, you gain the ability to make decisions that others might shy away from, to stay focused when others falter, and to stay committed when others give up. Discipline also plays a role in managing emotions, which often influence our decisions more than we realize. It's easy to make impulsive choices when we're angry, stressed, or overwhelmed. But discipline helps you pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting in the heat of the moment. Every decision you make carries with it a consequence. Some consequences are immediate, while others unfold over time, quietly shaping your future in ways you might not anticipate. Understanding this is a cornerstone of wisdom because it forces you to look beyond the surface of your choices and consider the ripple effect they can have on your life. The truth is, no one gets every decision right. Mistakes are inevitable, and perfection is unattainable. But what separates those who grow from those who remain stuck is the ability to learn from the consequences of their actions. Mistakes are not failures, they are feedback. They're opportunities to refine your judgment, sharpen your instincts, and develop a deeper understanding of how life works. Ignoring consequences or blaming others for them only robs you of the chance to improve. Learning from consequences requires humility. It takes courage to admit I made the wrong choice. But this acknowledgement is the first step toward growth. When you reflect on your decisions, you begin to notice patterns. Perhaps you rushed into something without thinking it through, or maybe you let fear hold you back from an opportunity. These patterns offer invaluable lessons, showing you what to repeat and what to avoid in the future. It's also important to remember that consequences aren't always immediate. Some choices may seem harmless at the moment, but their impact becomes apparent over time. Think about poor financial habits. Overspending on small luxuries might not seem like a big deal until years later when you find yourself in debt with little savings. Similarly, neglecting your health might not show its effects today, but it could lead to serious issues down the road. It's also important to remember that unfortunate ventures do shape you, and they can determine who you will become in the future. When you supposedly attack a bear or deal with your challenges, you might think that the critic and recognizing the long-term consequences of your decisions is a sign of maturity and foresight. Conversely, wise decisions often come with delayed rewards. It takes patience to see the fruits of good choices, and this is where many people falter. For instance, investing in your education, building healthy relationships, or starting a fitness journey may not yield immediate gratification, but over time, the rewards are undeniable. Learning to embrace the delayed benefits of wise decisions is a skill that separates those who succeed from those who settle for mediocrity. Another critical aspect of learning from consequences is understanding that life's lessons aren't always personal. You don't have to make every mistake yourself to grow. You can learn from the experiences of others. Pay attention to the stories of people around you. Observe how their choices shape their lives, both positively and negatively. When someone shares their struggles or triumphs, take note of the lessons embedded in their journey. By doing so, you save yourself the pain of unnecessary missteps and gain the wisdom to make better decisions. One of the greatest challenges in learning from consequences is resisting the urge to dwell on regret. Regret is natural. It's a sign that you care about the outcome of your choices. But dwelling on regret can trap you in the past, preventing you from moving forward. Instead of beating yourself up over what you could have done differently, focus on what you can do differently now. Use the energy of regret as fuel to make better decisions in the future. When you develop the habit of learning from consequences, you begin to approach life with a sense of curiosity and resilience. You stop fearing mistakes and start seeing them as stepping stones to wisdom. You begin to anticipate the outcomes of your decisions more thoughtfully, weighing the risks and benefits with greater clarity. Over time, this practice becomes second nature, empowering you to make choices with confidence and purpose. "Enough of that break," said the boss. "Now that you've been offered one, go. Take advantage of it. Live it. Enjoy. The people you surround yourself with have a profound impact on your ability to make wise decisions. Whether you realize it or not, your environment, the conversations you have, the attitudes you absorb, and the examples you witness shapes the way you think, act, and choose. Just as the right soil helps a plant grow, the right relationships help your wisdom flourish. One of the most significant truths about human behavior is that it's highly influenced by those closest to us. If you spend your time with people who are constantly negative, careless, or unmotivated, it's only a matter of time before their mindset begins to rub off on you. You might find yourself thinking smaller, settling for less, or making impulsive decisions that you wouldn't otherwise consider. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with people who challenge you to think critically, aim higher, and act with integrity, you naturally elevate your standards. The people in your life serve as mirrors. They reflect back the values, habits, and priorities that they hold dear. This is why it's so important to choose circle carefully. Seek out individuals who embody the qualities you aspire to develop, whether it's discipline, kindness, ambition, or wisdom. When you're surrounded by such people, their habits and attitudes will inspire you to adopt similar traits. It's not just about direct advice or mentorship. Often you'll learn more from simply observing how they navigate life. Wisdom isn't limited to personal relationships. It can be found in mentors, books, podcasts, and even the stories of those you've never met. Expanding your circle of influence to include wise voices from various sources can open your mind to new perspectives and help you make more informed decisions.